Hello, and welcome to Life Unstoppable podcast with Rochelle Crow. I am your host, Rochelle, and today we are going to talk about being an unstoppable parent and raising resilient kids while thriving yourself. Here over at Life Unstoppable podcast, we are trying to help everyone live an unstoppable life. What unstoppable means to you is your definition, but we want to give you keys of different areas of your life to help you strive to live that unstoppable life. As I said before, I am your host, Rochelle Crow, and just a little about me. I am a life coach and a podcast host, and I help people thrive and live an unstoppable life. We take people who have been hurt by different situations and help them heal and help them process those emotions and turn those traumas and turn the hurt and pain into their purpose. We help people just strive to live the best life that they choose to live. So in today's topic, we are talking about being an unstoppable parent, as I said before. And we're going to focus on strategies to build resilience in your children while also prioritizing your own well-being. We'll explore different tips and common challenges and hopefully inspire you to be that unstoppable parent. So we're going to start off by just talking about what does it mean to be an unstoppable parent. Being an unstoppable parent isn't about being perfect, never getting tired, or always having the answers. It's about developing a mindset and approach to parenting that allows you to show up with resilience, love, consistency, no matter what the challenges may be. We're going to truly break down the perfect parent, so to say, and just focus on you as a parent and what makes you unstoppable or what can help you get to that unstoppable lifestyle for your children. Because we all know our children watch us. They mimic what they see. They build their thought patterns, their faith, the way they do things off what they see their parents do. So we want to strive to be unstoppable in every area of our lives so that we can raise unstoppable and resilient kids. So being resilient in hard times, we know that life brings different stress factors, emotional stress, financial stress, unexpected obstacles will come your way. But being an unstoppable parent, it keeps us moving forward for the sake of your children. You don't crumble. So you're resilient. You're fighting through the challenges. The kids are watching how you handle a financial challenge or how you handle an unexpected home repair. These are obstacles that you don't expect to happen, but when they happen, how do you handle those hard times? Maybe you weren't expecting or you don't have the money this month for a water pipe to break, but guess what? It burst. What are you going to do? You have to get it fixed. The children are watching how you respond to that, and you stand up and you be resilient and say, yes, this time is hard for us. Yes, I didn't have the extra money this month for it, but we have to make it do. We have to figure it out. Kids are watching what you're doing during hard times. Unwavering love and support. How are you showing your love and support to your children? How are you showing up? It may be that you can't attend every sporting event or every school activity, but do you show up in other ways with your children? Are you encouraging them? You know, I have two boys, and they're both, like I've told you before, in middle school, and they play sports. You know, they are involved in school activities. So there are baseball games and basketball games and soccer games. I'm not always able to make every game, but I show up when I can to the games, and I show up in their lives and being present and making sure I understand what's going on. What's new with this sport with you today? How are you accomplishing your goals? You know, they have individual goals for their sport. You know, my oldest son plays basketball, and he has different goals of like getting his free throws better or making his jump shots. He's home, he's practicing, he's outside in the yard practicing. I go outside and I just have simple conversations with him while he's working on his jump shot. But I'm being present. He knows that I may not be able to come to all the away games, but I'm going to be at all the home games. But he knows that I support him. I support what he wants to do. If he wants to take a break from a sport, I support that. But it's all about your love and support for your children. Do they feel that you love and support them? Even when they make mistakes or test boundaries, because let's get it right. We all make mistakes, but our children will make mistakes. They will test our boundaries to see how far we allow them to go. Do they still feel like if I make a mistake, my parents still love me? Do you provide a safe place for them where they feel guidance, where they feel love, where they feel encouragement? Do they feel like they can come to you and tell you about their day, truly tell you about the things that matter to them or what upsets them without feeling like they're going to be judged, but feeling that your love is there, your support is there, and that you would give good guidance? Because they're looking to us for guidance, you know, and it's better for them to get it from us as parents than for them to get it from other kids that's their age. Only because kids can waver, and they can tell the other information that might not be right or may not be a good way to go about it. But it's important that kids feel, that your children feel they can come to you, that they can come and talk to you about anything, and that you won't judge them, but you will love them, that you will give them the support, that even when they make a mistake, yes, you discipline how you discipline, but you do it out of love. And you do it out of respect, that they feel like, okay, I know I made this mistake and I may have hurt my mom or I may have disappointed my dad, but I still know he loves me. I still know she cares, and I know she'll still show up for me. Adaptability. Parenting changes as kids grow. You have to adjust your approach. The way I handle my 13-year-old is not the same way I handled him when he was 7. Our communication is different. My response and reaction to him is different. I feel like I have gotten him to a place where he's making wise decisions on his own. I have taught him different ways to do things, how to handle different situations. And I'm not stuck in one way of, okay, well, this is what worked when he was 8, so I'm going to do this the same way. No, I've moved on. I've grown since then. And I know that at 8, this worked, but at 13, it doesn't. So it's about, as your children grow, you as a parent have to grow as well and meet them at the level where they are. Meet them at their age of where they are. And you're going to hear some different things. At 8, he wasn't talking about going to a dance with a girl. At 13, he's talking about who he's taking to homecoming. These are the different conversations that we're having now because of the age. So I have to make sure I grow and I come up as a parent with him on the level that he's on. So you have to be adaptable to their lifestyle. You have to grow with your child when it comes to your parenting, because your parenting, it changes. It often rotates with wherever your child is in life and how do you handle that child. And you also have to remember, sometimes what works with one child doesn't work with the other. I have 2 boys who are completely different children. They respond to things differently. They think differently. And so the way I handle one is not the same way I handle the other. I have to meet them on the level where they are to make sure I'm handling them on their level and I'm able to parent the way they need me to parent. So you have to model strength and vulnerability. Show your child how to be strong, but also how to handle mistakes, failures, and emotions in healthy ways. So I often let my children know I made a mistake. You know, it could be even when I'm talking to them or disciplining them or thinking one thing, and I may get on them about something, and then I have to come back and say, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I misread that or I misjudged that or whatever the case may be. Even other mistakes in my life that I make, I may say, you know what? I made a mistake. Can you guys pray for me? I often talk to my kids about the things, and I know some people don't believe in sharing the hard times with your children. I do. I share hard times with my kids because I feel like my boys need to know how hard this was for me to do this, to do certain things, and how I overcame them. You know, it was a challenge for me to, how hard it was for me to even just to start this podcast. You know, I just stepped out and said, you know what? God put this on my heart a couple of years ago. I'm going to step out on faith and I'm going to do it right now. And so that's what I've done. I've stepped out and I said, this is one of the hardest things I've done. And I shared that with them. I said, because I am afraid that people won't listen. People won't show up. People won't support. And then I remember, you know what? I told God, even if I show up for one person, even if this only reaches one person and one person gets something out of each episode, then I've done what I feel like I was called to do. So there are times that I share hard things, difficult things, and even financial. I've had to share financial things with them before, like, and say, hey, mom doesn't have it right now for you to be able to go and get this or for you to be able to go and do this. But I let them know it's more important for me to be able to provide you with food and the things that you need versus a toy or an outing that we might want to go to. So I do share my mistakes with them. I do share my hard times with them. I do share my emotions with them. I'm like, hey, you know what? Mom's having a tough day today. I feel low about this and I'm not feeling so great about myself. Can y'all just pray for me? And that's one thing I have instilled with my boys, that we pray for each other. I remember when they were small and one may get hurt or something like that, and we would immediately stop and pray. And just different things that I taught them when they were little. Just stop and pray. Stop and pray. That even now I see them as teens doing those things. Realizing that, hey, I can pray for my friend. I can encourage my friend. Or whoever the case may be. But they'll pray for me. I have had where I've told them, hey, I have to go do this today. I have this meeting or I have this appointment. Can you pray for me? And that's what they'll do. They'll pray for me. Even, had my son, he said, I was saying something was bothering me, maybe my foot or something. And he just went over, he's laid his hands on my foot and started praying and said, you know, you're healed in Jesus' name. And so these are the things that we're teaching our children. So when they see our strength, when they see our weakness, they can take that and they can learn from it. It's not a bad thing to let them know, hey, I didn't get it right, but it's how I go through it. It's how I manage my failures. It's how I can pick up and I can learn from it. And I can teach you so you won't make that same mistake. Consistency and presence. No matter how busy life gets, and we all know life is busy, make sure to carve out time to connect, listen, and parent with your children. We talked about this a little bit ago when we talked about not being able to always make sporting events or school activities or whatever your child is involved in, but just making sure you have that time to connect with them, to really listen to them and know what's going on in their life. They really do appreciate that. I feel like my son, he'll come to me and he'll just start talking to me about his day at school or talking about what's going on with his friend group or, different people in his grade. And I feel like he feels he has a safe space with me where he can share those thoughts, share his thoughts and feelings about what's going on, because he knows that I am present. He know I will listen to what he has to say, and I will share my thoughts if he wants them. I will share my thoughts and how I would navigate through those different situations that he may bring up. One of the other things that we need to focus on is empowering our kids. Being an unstoppable parent doesn't mean you do everything for your child. it's important that we raise them to be able to be strong, independent, kind, confident, in themselves, to be able to know that I can do this. I can do this without my mom. We always share the verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's part of our daily morning prayer when we're praying for school in the mornings, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so they know that they can do that without mom. And this year was so very important for me, for my youngest son to really become independent, because before, at the school that we currently attend, my youngest son started when he was 3. And I have always worked there at the school, and he's always been there, and can go to mommy whenever he needed to. Whereas my oldest son, even though he started at 5, he was 5 when we started at the school. I was there, but he's always been more my independent child. And so when he left, I didn't have any doubts or anything, or any worries like, oh no, is he going to be able to handle middle school? Well, with my youngest, because he was so every day in my office, coming by random times, being so more dependent than my oldest, I worried about him going into middle school. And so my oldest and I would talk and say, hey, make sure you watch out for him. Make sure, I'm trying to have big brother be there for him when he needed. But he showed us he was independent. He started doing things on his own. He joined the soccer team. My oldest son was giving him advice about, how it works with sport. And he was like, I got this, so it's always teaching them and empowering them to be their own person, to be independent, and to be confident in themselves, And this was something new for him. This is the first time he's playing a school sport. And he's off in middle school. So of course we were a little nervous about our baby, quote unquote, doing that. But he let us know, I can do it. I'm resilient. I have this. I have my mind focused, And that's what we have to do. We have to nurture our resilience in our children. We have to. So when we're talking about resilience in kids, it's the ability for them to be able to bounce back from challenges, for them to be able to adapt to change and keep moving forward when things are hard. So just like we have to be resilient, our children need to be resilient. So we have to teach that to them. And it's not about avoiding stress. It's not about avoiding failures. But it's about developing their inner strength to be able to handle the setbacks, to be able to handle the disappointments and, big emotions that come from things in a healthy way. It's important that we're teaching them how to handle all of these things, but handle it in a healthy way. And it matters that we teach resilience to our children because it builds confidence in them. When they overcome challenges, they learn I can handle and do hard things. I can handle hard things, But it builds that confidence in them and knowing that, okay, I went through this challenge before, maybe in a different way, but I can attack it the same way. I know what I learned before when I dealt with something hard. So it builds that confidence in them and knowing that they can do it themselves. It supports their mental health. Resilient children are less likely to feel overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, or failure. Not saying that they won't feel those things, but they're less likely to feel those things because they've seen you as a parent be resilient. If my mom or my dad can go through something hard, then I know I can handle it too. They know who to come to for the support and the guidance to be able to handle those difficult situations. It encouraged them to problem solve. They learn through obstacles instead of giving up. They learn how to get through. So they start problem solving. Okay, if this happened before, then let me figure out how I can handle it this way. But it causes them to problem solve. My youngest son, he said he was in his class the other day, and he said he did something to his finger. and he said it was like it wouldn't move, and so it sounded like he jammed the finger. So he said he was thinking about it, like, what can I do? He said, I just pulled it, I popped it back in place. So he was problem solving in the middle of his class, but he problem solved. And I said, well, did you go to the teacher, or did you have to go get ice or anything? He was like, no, ma'am, I was just able to pop my finger back in place. So that's him learning life skills and teaching himself to, just learning how to problem solve this situation in his mind. Okay, I've probably seen this happen to my brother before. So maybe this is what I just need to do. Maybe I just need to pop it back into place. Let's see, it strengthens their relationships. So when we're teaching our children to be resilient, it teaches them to know how to ask for help when they need help, how to communicate, and how to work through difficult conflicts. They're going to have so many conflicts, and it'll be relational. It could be with a friend, or a girlfriend, boyfriend, or a teacher. And so they're going to know how they will need to know how to handle those situations, how to get through, how to resolve the conflicts. What I love about our school, and with them being in middle school, they've learned how to reach out to their teachers on their own. So I don't have to send an email to the teacher because my child has a question about homework. He knows how to go in. He can email his teacher because they've set up emails for them. He can email his teacher and in the questions that he may have, or knowing how to turn in his work, and all of these things is communication that he's learning how to do. They learn how to do on their own, and that strengthens their relationship because they don't need mom to call the teacher or mom to email the teacher. They can figure it out on their own. So when they're becoming resilient, it teaches them how to communicate. It teaches them how to get help, seek help on their own, and how to work through those conflicts. It prepares them for life. Challenges won't disappear, as we all know as adults, when they grow up. If anything, it seems like the challenges are harder. In our view anyway, it seems like the challenges are harder. But resilience gives them the lifelong skills to adapt in school, in sports, in their careers, in their relationships. But it prepares them for life. The challenges that will come about in their lives, it prepares them. So we definitely want to make sure we help our kids that so they can see that the challenges that they have are not end game, that it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity for them to learn, and an opportunity for them to just process and build on what they've learned to prepare them for their future. So also let's talk about, go back to being an unstoppable parent also means prioritizing your well-being. As a parent, a lot of times we are so hard on ourselves because we feel like we didn't get something right. There's this unrealistic expectation of a perfect parent. So we strive to be this perfect parent that does not exist at all. You are the perfect parent for your child. And you seek God for strength and how to help your child become resilient, how to help your child be the best version of themselves that they can be. There is no perfect parent. There's no perfect child. But you have to make sure that you provide yourself with self-care. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, then you aren't being an unstoppable parent. So part of that self-care is setting boundaries. You need to know who you need to set boundaries with. There are people in your life that you may need to say no to. There are people in your life that you may need to walk away from. But you need to be able to set boundaries for yourself so that you can be the best version for your children. There are people that may be in your life right now that you need to exit. They need to exit from your life because they're holding you back in some way. And if they are holding you back in some way, you aren't being the perfect version of yourself for your children. And your children need you. They need you to be the best version, because if this person that you're friends with, if there's a person in your life that you're friends with, and every time you're around them or you talk to them, it's always something negative, and then that negative spirit gets into you, then you're going to spew out negative energy towards your kids. And they don't need that, because they go through so much already at school. It's hard life for children. And if you let them tell it. And so they need more from you that will balance them out. So if you need to set boundaries, set those boundaries. Find support systems, whether that's with family members, friends. You might have to find a mom group. I remember when my boys were younger, I was involved in a mom's group where we would get together and we would meet up, and our children would play or go to some event, and we would have time to be able to talk and just chat about different things that were going on. And I learned more from, I may have learned some things. I may have been able to share some things that the moms were able to learn from. It's just about having that community. It's very important that you have a community when it comes to raising your children. You can't always do it on your own. And it's okay to go to people for help. It's okay to say, you know what? I need help with this. How did you handle this particular situation with your child? And I thank God for putting people in our lives. A lot of times with my boys, with their friends, I become, friends with their parents, and we do life together. And especially when they play sports together, and we'll take turns and say, hey, I'm going to go to this away game and I'll grab our boys and bring them home. Or they may go to the away game. It's like we have a little circle and we're saying, hey, I got this week, you get this next game, or whatever the case may be. But it's always having that support system there. And our boys know that the other parent, the friend's parent, is there to support them while their parents can't be there from work. It may be work, or just may be too far, whatever the case may be. But have that community and support, and make sure you get the help when you need it. Don't feel like, I used to be this way, especially when my boys were younger, that when I needed help, I felt like I needed to do everything on my own. But I needed the help and didn't want to, because I didn't want to feel like, oh, I'm a bad parent because I need help. No, I need the help. I'm not afraid to say I need help now. So it's okay to have that community and to get help when you need it. Another way of self-care for yourself is managing your stress and burnout. Don't let things get you stressed out and where you're burnt out and you can't be there for anybody. Because when you're stressed out, you're burnt out, your emotional being is not healthy. You're not healthy for yourself. You're not healthy for your children. You're not healthy for anybody. So don't allow yourself to get stressed to the point where you're burnt out and that you're just not able to be good for anybody. Make time for personal interest without the guilt, time constraints, or pressures. I have struggled with this one. I have struggled with making sure I take time for myself, because I'm always like the boys. I need to do this for the boys. I need to be here for the boys. I need to save this for the boys. They may have something that come up and I may need to use the money for this. Whatever the case may be. Get rid of the guilt and just do it. Take time for your own personal interests. I have a friend who I say is the queen of self-help. Like, self-care is her number one goal every month. She's going to make sure she gets the self-care that she desires. So that could be whether that's to take a walk in a park by yourself, being out in nature by yourself, going to get a massage, to get pedicures, get manicures, going to brunch with your friends. Whatever self-care looks like for you, make sure you do it. Make sure you take the time for your own personal interest. She will tell you, she would get on us when we aren't doing it. She's like, have you taken time for yourself? You need to go do this. Go get a massage. Go do this or go do it, whatever. She is the queen of self-care. self-care. And I have learned a lot from her. Being a mom, she's a mom now to a college student, but being a mom, she made sure she took time out for herself. And that's very important that you do that without the guilt. Don't feel guilty for needing time. It's okay. We all need time for ourselves. Take that time and enjoy it and actually do something for yourself. Not just, okay, the kids are out the house, I have a moment to breathe. That's fine, and that's lovely too, but make sure you do something for yourself. It's okay to be nice to yourself. That's part of self-care. And also know when you need professional help. Sometimes we can be so overwhelmed by the things of life and by the things of parenthood that, we may need a counselor. We may need someone to help us get through where we are just emotional drained, or we feel that we're about to burn out or break down. It's okay to get that professional help. I want to encourage you for this week, if I can give out homework, I would encourage you this week to to identify one small step that you can take this week to help you become an unstoppable parent. And that one small step may be just you taking time out for yourself. You may not have realized that you really need to take time out for yourself. It may be one small step of just breathing and not focusing on all of the things that's going on in the world, or focusing on all the things that's going on in your home. Just breathing and being in the moment. But I just encourage you to take one small step this week. We've talked about being a resilient parent. We've talked about our children being resilient. We've talked about the importance of self-care to be an unstoppable parent. But just take time, one step this week, that can help you reach your goal of becoming an unstoppable parent. We want you all, after this episode, to feel re-energized. We want you to feel equipped to navigate the joys and the challenges of parenthood with greater confidence and resilience. Remember, we're always here for you. As I said before, I am a life coach. If you feel like you need a life coach in your life, hey, it's me. I'm here. I can help you get to the next step. I can help you get through whatever it is that you're going through, your hurt, your disappointments, you feeling like you're not enough, whatever the case may be. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you become an unstoppable parent, to become an unstoppable person in every area of your life. If you need that coaching, please reach out. We always give you our ways of contacting us. You can reach me at rhcrowe, that's CROWE, at marriageunstoppable.com to email us. You can always go to lifeunstoppable.com, and it has all of our contact on our website. If you need coaching, the links are there for coaching. If you want to email in first, that'll be great. Just email me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But just reach out to us if you need more help with certain things, just getting you to that unstoppable level. We're here to help. That's our main goal, is to help others. I will also get you to just think about how just different questions and points for you to think about too over the next week. Think about, how do you define resilience in your children? What is one self-care practice you can prioritize as a parent? What challenges do you face in balancing parenting and personal well-being? And who is your support system, and how do they help you? Because that support system is key. All right, guys, if you have any questions, comments about today's episodes or any other episodes, if you have some topics you would love for us to talk about, reach out to us again. The email is rhcrowe, CROWE, at marriageunstoppable.com. We are always here for you. As always, we say we love y'all for real. Peace.